Hey guys, let us start the rapid roundup session on Unit 7 Trade Union Structure, Leadership and Recognition. Now, don't let the topic scare you. I know trade unions might be sounding like a very boring old textbook chapter, but trust me, they are actually like the Avengers of our workforce. And when they unite, they fight for justice and better wages. Now, let us begin with the structure of the Indian trade unions. Imagine a typical Indian family setup. What do we have? We have our home. Home is the primary level, right? We have our home, which is the primary level. Then we have the extended family, that is like the industrial federations. And then we have the elders council, right? That is the central federation. Similarly, trade unions in India also operate at three levels. What are they? Let us see. They are at the plant level, at the industry level, and then at the national level. So, at the base, we have the primary unions, and that is the plant level unions that comes at the base. These are like the colony associations. They are very local. They are very focused for a particular plant. They operate within a single plant or a single factory. Some are very site specific also, like a factory in Coimbatore, while others may cover in an industry across a region. Say all textile workers in Tirupur. But basically, that is like the most basic level, the very first level primary unions. Next comes the industrial federations. That is one step up in the scale. The industrial federations. They bring together several primary unions within the same industry. For example, if many primary unions are there across different steel plants, then they come together and they form something like the Indian National Iron and Steel Workers Federation. These federations will help workers coordinate their efforts and make their voices louder. And then at the top of the pyramid, we have the national or the central federations. These are the big shots. They represent entire sectors across the country and even connect with international bodies. You probably have heard names like AITUC, INTUC, CITU, HMS, BMS, and all, right? These are central federations that represent workers nationally, and they are often aligned with political parties. Now, just like how many of our WhatsApp groups, like college group, neighborhood group, family group, and all sometimes overlap, like there are members there are common members in these groups. Trade union levels are also linked. The plant union, the plant level union can affiliate themselves with or to industrial federations, which in turn are part of central federations. So this structure ensures that the voice of a small time textile worker in Erode can echo all the way to the parliament in Delhi. But it is not all roses. It is not all sunshine and solidarity. Multiplicity of trade unions in India is a bit like having too many cooks in the kitchen. Different unions compete in the same workplace, not for biryani but for workers' loyalty. This creates confusion, weakness, right? Uh, and this confusion, what will happen? It will weaken our bargaining power, and sometimes it can also lead to unnecessary rivalry. It is like that there is one worker and there are two unions, and both of these unions are fighting to get the membership of this person. So now what happens first? What unions will do first? They will sort it out among themselves, or will they go and help this guy when a problem comes? Right. So it is like having too many cooks in the kitchen. Then also political affiliations make things a little bit worse. Like imagine if trade unions are fighting each other more than fighting for workers, right? The result is fragmentation, it is duplication of effort and poor coordination. So these are some of the challenges in the what you can say, in already organized sectors. Then we have the unorganized sector, right? The informal sector, unorganized segment where over 90% of India's workforce is working, and traditional unions don't have much reach here. But is all hope lost? No. We have alternate organizations like SEVA and all, that is Self-Employed Women's Association. These kind of organizations have stepped up. SEVA started in Ahmedabad in 1972, and it empowers women workers in informal jobs by offering them credit, education, and healthcare. And these new age worker groups may not always be called trade unions, but they are doing work that the unions were meant to do. Now, let us talk about the governance of these trade unions. How are these unions actually run? That is the question. We have three levels. We have the plant level, we have the industry level, and the national level. How are these unions run at each of these levels? At the primary level, the things are very simple. You have a general body, that is all the members of that particular union, and then we have an executive committee, that is the leaders and the decision makers. They will manage disputes, take decisions, and negotiate with the employers. It is a bit like managing committee. It is like bit like the managing committee of your apartment building. Then comes the industrial federations. Here, governance becomes a little bit more structured. Leaders will be elected by affiliated unions, and they will handle coordination across companies. It ensures unity in action. And then coming to the central level, things become even more formal and hierarchical. There is an executive committee and a general council with representatives from all over India. These big federations influence national policies and labor laws. Now, when it comes to the various types of trade union structures, there is something for everyone. Like there are different types of biryani: Hyderabadi, Lucknowi, Kolkata, Kozhikode, Talapakatti, like that. Trade union structures also vary. Craft or occupational unions focus on specific skills like welders union, electricians union, like that. Industrial unions are open to everyone in a particular industry, whether you are a janitor or a manager, right? Not exactly managers here. We can't say managers here. We'll come to managers unions later. Here you get the idea. Uppu thottu karponu vara, whoever it is there in that particular factory or that particular industry, you can join. It doesn't matter. You have to be having a particular skill here. Craft unions where it's like, can an electrician go and join a welders union? No. Craft based unions are skill based. One particular skill. It is like women's union or men's union, like that. Industrial union is everybody in the class can join that class group, like that. Then coming to general or universal union, these unions try to cover all workers, regardless of the job or industry. It is like, so first it is like all girls group, all boys group. Then the next level is the class group. And top of that, it is the school group, like that. Then we also have enterprise unions, which are company specific, working. So everybody working within one organization will be in that particular enterprise union. Sectoral unions represent workers across companies in the same sector, like garment workers across different brands. That is sectoral union. So these are the various types of unions. Now let us speak into some of the big name industrial and central federations in India, the big names in this area. You would have already heard about them. We have been talking about them from quite a few units now. AITUC. What is AITUC? All India Trade Union Congress. It is affiliated to Indian National. No, it is affiliated to who? I think CPM, right? It is affiliated to CPM. CPI, sorry, it is affiliated to CPI. So you can think of them as the OGs of unionism. They started in 1920. They are the it is the oldest trade union of India. Then comes INTUC. This formed in 1947 and aligned itself with Congress Party, and they are they are active in both organized and unorganized sectors as well. And currently, INTUC is the largest of the national unions in India. They have 33 million members. CITU is a Marxist-backed federation. It is known for its strong views on workers' rights and industrial democracy. BMS, unlike BMS, it is not tied to a particular political party, but rather it supports nationalist values and believes in industrial peace. HMS or UTUC, NFITUC, TUCC, each of these have a unique flavor, political learning, and sectoral focus. So these are all federations that differ in affiliation, political ties, membership size, or sector focus. But the main thing is that they all aim for a same thing, that is better life for workers. Now, before we wind up this session, let us look at the future of trade unionism. Where is trade unionism headed? Well, like everything else, trade unions are also have now come to a juncture where they must either adapt or become history. Right? Why? Because globalization is pushing companies to cut costs and technology is changing the workplace. Like think gig workers, automation, remote jobs. So unions can't rely on old school methods like strikes or rallies anymore. They will have to use technology to connect with workers and even those who are working from home also. They must reach out to youth, to women, migrant workers, and those in the gig economy. The future also calls for international cooperation because companies are operating globally, and so should the trade unions also. So, to summarize, we can say that trade unions in India are a layered, complex, and evolving thing. From factory floors to international forums, they play a big role in shaping labor rights. But to remain relevant, they have to unite, modernize, and reach out to the unheard voices, especially those in the informal sector. So, the next time you hear about a trade union protest or a negotiation, don't just scroll past it. Look at it, read what is happening, because it is not about strikes or slogans. It is about people, policies, and progress. I hope I was able to help you in preparation for your term and examination by simplifying the important concepts that were discussed in this unit. I hope whatever we have discussed is clear to you. If I did make your journey easier, make sure to pass it on to your friends as well. Until we meet again in another session, thank you so much for tuning into Classroom. It will be helpful if you can subscribe to the channel if you haven't done already. Anywho, happy learning.